This is Jet with Pop Austin Media, and I got hip-hop artist Katie Tropp in the building. How's life?
Not bad, not bad. Thank you for having me out.
It's good to have you by. So let's start from the beginning. Where's Katie originally from?
Let's see, I was born in San Jose, California, but I grew up in Reno, Nevada. Lived there 14 years ago, and now I live here in Austin.
Okay. So what brought you out to Austin?
Mostly the weather. It's way too cold out in Reno. It snows most of the year and can't stand it. Didn't really care for Reno to begin with. It was just too small for me, so Austin ended up being the place I moved to.
Okay, so how was childhood out in Cali?
Well, I only lived in Cali until I was like 5, so.
So 5. Oh, yeah. Okay. So how was childhood in general though? Like I just with moving and all that, it's always just getting acclimated.
It wasn't that big of a deal to me. I mean, at first, of course, because I was like in first grade when we moved to Reno. So, when you're small, you're kind of like, oh no, I'm losing all my friends and all that kind of stuff and everything that you've established or established at 5, you know?
Exactly.
But then, a month or two in and everything's fine. I made some friends and.
Okay. Did you play any sports?
No, I actually did not play any sports. I just like on the playground, nothing like not like any little league or any of that kind of stuff. I did do Taekwondo in like 6th, 7th grade, but only did that for like 3 or 4 years.
What got you into that? That's interesting.
I don't know. I just probably Mortal Kombat. Really, I loved the Mortal Kombat games, and then it's just like. I don't know. It seemed like kind of interesting, and I did like it for the time that I did it. I actually think a lot of it gave me discipline in my life because I'm a very disciplined person, very schedule oriented, and I actually credit Taekwondo to a lot of that personality trait of mine. So I think it's helped me so far.
Okay, and then you just stop. You're just kind of like,
Yeah, it was. I was getting to that age, like freshman year, when you kind of are still like you're like I'm not really into this anymore. I'm feeling too cool for that. So I made it to brown senior belt, which is only like 3 belts away from black belt. So yeah, I quit at kind of towards the end, but it was just in that time period of life where you're just like, I don't want to hang out with your friends and do different things.
Okay. So what high school did you graduate from?
It's called Galena High.
Okay. And where's that at?
In Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada. Okay. So, all right. So I guess, and then I kind of messed that up in a sense. So it seemed like you went Cali, then you went to Nevada.
Yep.
And then
here, Austin.
Okay.
Yep.
So then, in a sense, Nevada and Austin got the same type of weather for the most part.
No. Reno, Nevada is like the complete, because a lot of people think Vegas and Reno are like close when they're 8 hours away.
Oh.
Reno's like all the way at the top and Las Vegas is all the way at the bottom, which is why most people think that like Reno's warm because Vegas is warm for the most part. Reno, no, is like they get more snow than the Rocky Mountains. So it's really cold there. It's cold from like end of September till end of May, and it's even snowed on the 4th of July there.
So how far is that from Roswell?
Oh man, like way far from
which
Roswell.
Is probably the question you get all the time, like, oh, where's that from Roswell?
Yeah, that and how's Vegas?
Oh yeah,
how's
Vegas?
I love Vegas, but it's pretty far.
But see, now I'm just ignorant to that just because of the simple fact that because I know in like and that's how I got to mess up because I know in North Cali it gets cold like that too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it stretches so far up, so that's why I was kind of got that mixed. I was like, because I know they both can get cold.
Yeah. Reno's kind of like where Sacramento's at in California. It's basically like equidistant to that. It's kind of like in that same kind of area. So, like it's obviously hours away, but it's in that kind of northern area.
Okay. So when did you realize you wanted to do music? Or what got you into
Well,
music?
I've always been into music. Like growing up, when I was a kid, with the tapes and CDs, I'd be like reading the inserts and everything. And I just was heavily into music. And then I started playing drums when I was in 7th grade.
Cool. What got you into that?
I just loved music. I was just always like banging on stuff. And I'm just like, I should do drums. And so I started doing drums in 7th grade. And then when I got into about 9th, 10th grade, I enjoy playing drums, love playing drums, but I never wanted to be like in a band or anything. So then I started kind of branching out into songwriting. And what really got me there was this was the time period of Dr. Dre's Chronic 2001 and when Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP and all that stuff came out. So that's basically how I started writing music. Is like I just was heavily listening to them. I'm like, wonder if I could be a rapper. And so I did. One day I just started writing, and I would actually, the way I started writing is I would like write over their lyrics. So obviously wasn't anything like unique, but that's how I started. And then I started branching out, and I grew up with a kid named Jackson. We were in the same grade. We both played drums together, and his family had like a little recording studio set up because they were huge music fans. And he was all like, if you're and I was telling him I'm huge into hip hop. I'm really thinking about being a rapper. And he's all like, well, if you want to like make a demo, let me know. And so this was also around the time of like LimeWire and Napster. So I found some instrumentals. I put together 4 tracks, and we got in the studio, and he kind of had a little bit of idea what to do in the studio. But we got in the studio. It took me 4 hours to bang out 4 tracks. And then I just started passing my demo out around school, and everybody's like, oh yeah, you should do this. And so basically ever since I was 15, that's when I really started writing music. Ever since I was 15, I've continued to write.
So how did you feel your first studio session, and then how did you feel post after you get the recognition, in a sense that people can hear your hard work that you just did?
It was, I mean, it's just like, because you don't know what you're going into. I mean, you don't know if anybody's going to like it. Because when you first tell people, because I went to a suburban white kid school, so when you tell them you want to be a rapper, they're like, yeah, like the white girl's going to be the rapper. And I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. And so I when I released the demo and was handing out to my friends, of course you feel like your friends are going to just give you props and be like, oh yeah, that's good. But people who weren't my friends were like, wow, this is really good. And then so I worked at the mall, and one of my friends had passed my demo out to somebody at the mall who was looking for rappers to work with. And then so I started working with him, and it's really just gone from there.
That's cool. That's dope. It's always good. Like I said, I always tell people to see where they, like, when they entered it, because, you know, it's always like, especially nowadays, it could be any time, because people could just, you know, pick it up. I could tell you've been doing it a while, but I'm just saying some people just pick it up and like been doing it for 2 or 3 years, and it's like, dang.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you know, so you would cite Dr. Dre, Eminem, that whole Aftermath imprint as inspirations?
Yes, definitely. Ice Cube too. Ice Cube's my favorite rapper.
Ice Cube don't get his respect, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. In my opinion, Ice Cube's the greatest of all time. Now I know everybody can debate that, but to me, from where he comes from, how he believes in himself, and how he does not give a shit. If they say, ooh, apologize for this, he's like, fuck you. That's what I wrote.
Exactly.
He never ever apologizes. I love that about him, and I love that he keeps putting out music too. He's not one of those rappers who's like, oh, when I turn 40, that's when I'm going to retire. No, he's like, I'm going to be rapping until I'm 80, and I'll be in Vegas doing residencies. And it's like, that's what I want to hear.
And he's doing his thing with the big 3 too.
Exactly. Oh yeah, not just in movies, and it's like he's just really expanded his brand, and I just love that he believes in himself so much that it's just. That's just why I love him so much. He just is authentically him.
That's dope, yeah. And he wrote all that NWA stuff too.
Yes,
so
exactly. Exactly, yeah. Most people don't realize he was like 70% of the lyrics for NWA. And I mean, I love everybody in NWA equally, but like Cube should get recognition for what he did with them. And I'm sure a lot of it had to do with, you know, they were beefing when he left, and, you know, media and people take sides and people spew lies out there, but he still held his own, and he's still doing his thing.
Exactly. Do you remember your first show?
My first show, yes, I do remember my first show. It was here at Kick Butt Coffee when it wasn't the way it is now. I remember it. I was kind of nervous, but then once I got on stage, like all nerves went away, and I remember my boss and his wife were there, and like the two of them are like in their 60s, and I didn't expect them to actually like, because they're like, you know, they're into that like Beatles kind of type of music. Yeah. So I didn't expect them to like it, but no, they did. They loved it, and my mom loved it, and my brother was there, and a couple of my friends were there. So it was really tough. It was really a cool memory for me.
That's dope.
And it's cool to because now, you know, Kick Butt's still there, but it's like I don't know if you've ever been to Kick Butt Coffee, but like
it's been a while.
But now it's like they got like a nice stage, they got like a nice sound system. They're like a 6th Street bar now. So it's like really cool to see the evolution of how it's grown from day one when I started there. Like shit, when was my first show there? I think it was like in maybe 2010-ish, 2011-ish.
Oh, yeah, so it's definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know it looks totally different now. Heck, Austin looks totally different now. New skyscrapers
absolutely.
Every day, it seems like. All right, so let's talk about see if I say right, Blackman Records, right?
Yep.
And you're the VP of operations as well there?
Yes.
So talk about that, and then also talk about, I guess, like balancing that as well as the artist hat. Just just touch on
Okay.
that.
Well, I mean, for me, it's
And how
like,
that come about with, I guess, getting with Blackman Records too.
okay, well, man, I've been with them since 2009. So back in 2009, this was around the MySpace days too. So I had like everything that I had recorded up to that point. I just was posting it on MySpace. I was getting ready to put together my own album, but like I didn't have everything together. I had like songs and stuff and beats and everything that I wanted to use, but I had like probably 5 songs posted on MySpace. And a guy named Mr. Maya, he hit me up. He sent me a message. He's like, yo, we're going to be out. They were based out in Abilene at the time. And they're like, we're coming down for South by Southwest, and we'd like to come and meet you and maybe start working with you. And Lex Aziz, he's the CEO of Blackman Records. I mean, from day one, he and I are homies. Like, we vibe together perfectly. When we first met, it was like we never shut the fuck up. We just keep talking, and we
built a connection off.
Yeah, we worked so well together. And so he's all like, so what's going on with you? Do you have a home studio? And at the time, I had like a little tiny studio set up, just like a mic on my laptop, and just a little nothing special, just enough to get me to recording. So he's like, I'm gonna send you a beat, and let's see what you could do with it, and let's see if you'll work with us. So he sends me the beat. I send him the track back, and he's all like, and I sent it back within like a day or two. And he was like, okay, first of all, I like that you got back to me so quick. But he's like, I like what you're doing. Do you want to work with us? And so I was like, hell yeah, I want to work with you. And so I went out to Abilene, signed a contract with them, and we recorded my first album, Crazy Cracker. We did 12 songs. And
I saw that name. I saw that name of the album. I was like, that is hilarious. It's eye-catching. Crazy Cracker.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
I'm fortunate it's freezing ass cold today, or else you'd see the big-ass Crazy Cracker tattoo on my arm right there. But yeah,
I love it.
We did 12 songs. We recorded 12 songs in like 6 hours. And
man, put it in work.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a beast in a studio.
Straight to work.
Yes, no, I mean, usually that's one of the reasons why Lex and I get along so well. Is like we can sit in the studio and we get tracks done. Like in this last album I just finished, we did 20 tracks in 2 days, and so that's my 6th album. So it's like we have a rep together where like it's a lot quicker and more seamless now. But yeah, the first time we got in the studio, it was that quick, and like we just vibed well. And so then Lex really wanted to give all of us like titles with the company, because he felt that would make us work harder and feel like it was more of ours. I started out as the VP of like marketing and our media and stuff, but now he's elevated me to VP of operations, because like he and I we're simpatico, man. Like he's just my best friend, and just everything. We work so well together. We have the same goals. We have the same mindset. I don't have to worry. Like when he's mixing and mastering down an album of mine, I don't have to worry that he's like not working on it. And if he's not getting something done, that means something has happened or something's getting in the way of it. And it's the same on my end. Like he knows he could trust me with, Katie, do this, and he knows I'm going to do it. So it just slowly progressed from working as an artist with him, and then he's like, I want to expand this role a little bit more, and that's where I'm at now. And I accept both roles as a rapper and VP of operations as the same thing. They're both a job to me, and I take them both very seriously.
That's dope. Shouts out to that, because y'all been together for a while too.
Yeah, so exactly. It's crazy. When I said 2009, I'm like, shit, man, I've known Lex 12 years now.
Yeah, man, putting in work though. That's a good run though.
Hell
if you can build it for that long, that business relationships don't get that far.
Yeah, I mean, hell, even mainstream ones. It's like some people be hating on each other like a year into it, or a couple years down the road, and they don't have their music anymore, or they can't perform certain songs anymore. So yeah, I'm very fortunate that I met Lex, because not only is he good a business partner, but like he doesn't treat me like I'm a dumb girl. He doesn't have to like pat me on the head like, oh sweetheart, blah blah blah. Like he doesn't treat me like I'm stupid. He treats me like an equal, and he's just been great. He wouldn't put me in a bad position either. He would never put me in a bad position. So it's definitely great to have him in my corner.
That's dope. What's missing in the Austin music scene, or Austin music scene, I'd say?
Missing. Well, I actually think it's starting to come around now. Is that I think a lot of people, instead of I guess doing their own thing. I mean, you should always do your own thing, but like a lot of them don't want to work together. They like to kind of act like they're bigger than other people and better than other people. But I have noticed, and it might be because of COVID and we're all like, oh, I want to get out and do shows and be with each other. It seems to be coming together more, but that was always my thing, is like, it always seemed like there's always people who think they're better than others. And it's like I would be on shows with other people, and one of my biggest pet peeves are people who like show up only for their own set and bring out their people only for their own set, and they hightail it on out of there before the show is even finished. And I understand
networking.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand not everybody's can stay out for the whole time. I mean, some people got kids, some people got families and whatnot. But like, I feel like you should always be out there, because that's how I am. Even if I'm not performing, I'll be out there before the show starts and stay until the end, because first of all, it's respectful, and second of all, you're right, networking is a huge thing.
Yeah, you gotta network.
And if you're not like working together, it's not going to work, and then you're just going to have all these egos tearing each other down, and that's just stupid in my opinion.
Exactly. 100% feel that. No lies detected there. So how's dating life for Katie Tropp? Just for the people out there that may want to know.
I'm single.
Okay.
That's usually how I roll anyways. I like being single.
All right, cool. Do you have any upcoming projects that we need to look out for? I know you mentioned some stuff that you said you've knocked out, 20 songs in 2 days?
2 days.
So.
Yep, in a weekend. My next album's called Prophet's Path to Nowhere. Mixing and mastering, I should actually have the final tracks either this weekend or next weekend. Just depends on Lex's schedule. So I'm looking at probably a release towards the end of January. I've already filmed the first music video I'm going to do for that one. It's called Not Safe for the Radio. And I'm going to usually release my music video a couple days before I release the whole album. So I'll be starting to release some singles here probably at the end of this month, beginning of next month. Like I said, I don't have the final tracks yet, so there's no final dates, but I definitely will be ramping up some promotion on my next album here in the next few weeks.
All right, cool. So basically just kind of more of the first quarter-ish, bleeding into the first quarter.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Cool. We'll be on the lookout for that. Well, we bear gifts.
Cool.
It's the holidays.
Awesome.
And I like to see people open their gifts, too.
Okay.
So go ahead and open it.
All right. Oops. Okay, you got me some candy, and that's Reese's Pieces. Love some Reese's Pieces. All right. Oh, dope. That's dope. Nice. And it's a small, so it'll definitely fit me.
Go ahead and show the people.
Oh, yep. Pop Austin Media got Katie Tropp on it. Purple. I'm a Lakers fan, so that's perfect there. Even though they suck ass this season. Oh, nice. And then we got, is this orange? This is orange, right?
Yeah, this is orange.
So we got Pop Austin Media, orange, size small, so that definitely fit me. Hook'em horns, some orange hook'em horns there.
And
all right, sweet.
That's it. And then, of course, the bag.
Reese's Pieces, the bag, Pop Austin Media.
Where can we find you at on the socials and DSPs and everything else?
Definitely the place to check me out would be my official website's katietropp.net.
Okay.
My name is spelled KATIETROPP.net. You can find all my music videos on there. Anywhere where you'll find me on social media, it's on there as well. All of my music's on every single digital platform, on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that stuff, Amazon. And then for all the old school people, I sell CDs. That's available on my website, along with a whole bunch of merch that I designed myself, other than my logo. My logo on my cap here, that was designed by Tony Franzetti. But everything else on my website for merch-wise was designed by me. And
awesome.
It's all
respect.
available.
Big respect for that.
Thank you.
Briefly touch on that just for a little bit, doing that, and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, just like for me, I'd prefer to figure out how to do things on my own, just because I know my time frame, my calendar, and if I want something done quick, I know I can do it. And so one day I just kind of started messing around on a website called Canva. It's kind of like Photoshop, except it's a little bit simpler than Photoshop. And so I started kind of making promo stuff on there, and then I was like, well, let me see if I could put together some certain things. And I just kind of started working with that. And then I started making lyric videos with it. And
awesome.
So I just kind of like to figure out how to do things on my own. because I just think it's good to know.
A jack of all trades.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
It's always good to know certain things.
Awesome. Well, you heard it here. Katie Tropp, the jack of all trades. Thanks for coming by. Great
you for having me.
conversation. This is Jet, and I'm signing out.